Welcome to Ornaments of Grace, stories for Advent and Christmas. From the Gospel of John. But to those who did accept him, he gave power to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not by natural generation, nor by human choice, nor by a man's decision, but of God. Elie Wiesel, subjected at 15 to the terrors of the Holocaust, was left with an emptiness in his soul. He had been a devout Jewish child and waited for God to rescue his people from the horrors they were enduring, in much the same way God had intervened in biblical history. This did not happen as he expected. So he began to question God. As the cruelty and suffering increased, Wiesel began to accuse God, denouncing him as cruel and uncaring. He demanded answers from God. Wiesel tells us this through a series of writings. Gradually, he is ready to forgive God, knowing he cannot understand the mind of God. This kind of faith, he says, is not a resignation to accept evil. We have to work against it. Over the years, Elie continues to question, even though his relationship with God has changed dramatically. After years of searching for answers, Elie concludes that there are no answers. For him, life is a journey filled with questions. In faith, we continue journeying, even if God answers in silence. As his journey continued, Wiesel knew he was a child of God, not from being born a Jew, but through God's own power. He was a social activist, pleading for Jews and all humanity in danger. He spent his life for others. When President Reagan presented him with the Congressional Gold Medal in 1984, Wiesel summarized his life this way: I have learned that suffering confers no privileges. It depends on what one does with it. This is why survivors have tried to teach their contemporaries to build on ruins, how to invent hope in a world that offers none, how to proclaim faith. Elie Wiesel witnessed, among many horrors, 2 Jewish men and a Jewish boy hanged alongside one another. The men died quickly, but the boy's weight wasn't enough to snap his neck quickly when the chairs upon which they had been standing were pushed out from under them. So the boy died in slow agony before Elie's eyes. He asked, "Where is God now? Where is God now?" It's a question often asked by those who are in extreme suffering or whose loved ones are suffering. We do not know what the new year will bring to us or to our loved ones. We do know that Wiesel showed us God walks with us, his children, in our suffering and in our joys. Let us be those who accept Jesus and become the children of God, living our faith no matter what comes. Elie Wiesel is our 30th Ornament of Grace. to those who did accept him, he gave power to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not by natural generation, nor by human choice, nor by a man's decision, but of God. Observing the beautiful ornaments, have you questioned God as Elie Wiesel did during horrific times? And do you believe God hears you, even if he seems silent? Do you trust enough to walk in the power of being God's child, not knowing the future?
Shalom World Podcasts is now available on all online platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and others.